Adolescents, despite their protests, need adults and want them to be a part of their lives, recognizing that they can nurture, teach, guide, and protect them on the journey to adulthood. Directing the courage and creativity of normal adolescents into healthy pursuits is part of what successful counseling, teaching, or mentoring an adolescent is all about. The following tips may be helpful for having conversations with adolescents, as taking time to ask questions and listening without judgment to the answers can be quite effective. If we consider questions in the counseling context with adolescents, it's important to engage adolescents with non-threatening questions. Here, I would advise that you choose 1 or 2 questions at a given time and ask questions that help them define their identities. For example, what do you like to do with your free time? What are your hopes for the future? It's important that you listen non-judgmentally and listen more than you speak. This enables the adolescent to realize that you value his or her opinions, and thus they learn to trust you more. It's also important to ask open-ended questions, which are questions that require more than a yes or no response. This helps the adolescent to think through ideas and options. In communicating with adolescents, it's also important to avoid the why questions, as they tend to put people on the defensive. Instead of using why questions, try to rephrase your questions to get at what the adolescent is thinking, rather than the reason for something the adolescent has said or done. For example, instead of asking, "Why did you say that?" say instead, "You seem to really be trying to get across a point when you did that. Can you tell me more about what you mean?" Other tips to consider in communicating with adolescents include matching the adolescent's emotional state unless it is hostile. If the adolescent seems enthusiastic or sad, let your responses reflect his or her mood, as reflecting will help the adolescent feel understood. Another tip is to casually model rational decision-making strategies. Discuss how you once arrived at a decision. Explain, for example, how you defined a problem, generated options, and anticipated positive and negative consequences, made the decision, and evaluated the outcome. Adolescents have relatively short attention spans, so be brief and choose a topic that is relevant to them. Lastly, another tip is to discuss ethical and moral problems that are in the news. Encourage the adolescent to think through the issues out loud without changing his or her point of view. Wonder aloud about how others might differ in their perspective on the issue and what might influence these differences.